Welcome to Lions Live 365. I am your host, Michael Ayers, and today we are breaking down how one ring can change everything for the Detroit Lions. One ring would kill some narratives that have essentially been on the Lions' back forever, that they never win a big game, that they never sustain success. All of those things would be quieted. Those things would definitely be dead. But it also would kind of legitimize two or three players that have been highly disrespected just because they're on Detroit. That's the only way that I can really think to say like this Super Bowl means more to about two or three people. I'm gonna break that down for you, but at the end of the day, winning the Super Bowl would change so many things, and I think the level of difficulty actually enhances what I mean. So when you look at who the Lions end up playing this year, we have the third best strength of schedule uh, in the league. We're going to play all the good teams. The division is hard enough. Green Bay, the Vikings, and then we got the Bears, if you want to call that hard or not. I don't know. At the end of the day, Ben Johnson is going to do something. I don't know if he's going to make the team any better. I don't know because at the end of the day, regardless of how good Ben Johnson is, he's not throwing the ball. So we got to see what Caleb Williams actually is, what he can actually handle with that offense. But not to get on a crazy side note, when you look at who we play this year, we play a lot of the big dogs. We played a lot of the media favorites. We play the Ravens. We play the Kansas City Chiefs. We play Tampa Bay. We play the NFC East that the media is just in love with. And I'm trying to tell you, when we play the Eagles, the Giants, and Dallas, we're going to be all over national media. They're going to talk about it before the game. They're going to talk about it after the game. So at the end of the day, we can be 10-0 at week 11. If we lose to the Eagles, are we real? That's just how it's going to be. So with that being said, we just have to we have to go through this gauntlet, plus the playoffs, and then we had to be the best team in the AFC. So if we were to go through this high strength of schedule season, we were to win the Super Bowl, it would be an undeniable Super Bowl. Like it'd be like, man, look, they played the best teams, they won all the games, and then you can start looking at the other seasons as just like these were the steps that they needed to take to grow to finally win that Super Bowl. So that is what I mean by this one ring would change everything. On top of that, all of the things that I talked about earlier, we also get to separate the players' talent, the coach's ability as far as Dan Campbell, and we get to detach that from Ben Johnson. I think for a lot of media members, we are we're basically we've been held up by Ben Johnson's genius. So when you look at it, this is how national media and casual fans view the Lions' success. It's mostly Ben Johnson. We're all just peons, working for the chess master. Without him, we are nothing. So that's how a team that's been 27-7 over a 2-year period is going to suddenly miss the playoffs. 27-7 over a 2-year period is going to turn into this the windows closed for the Super Bowl. A team that hasn't had a losing streak since 2022 is going to fall off the face of the earth because of the great Ben Johnson and his genius. Without him, they are nothing. It's 80% Ben Johnson. Goff and the team did a little bit. Aaron Glenn did a little bit. And then Dan Campbell, he kept everybody motivated. That's all he did. He had nothing to do with the schemes that we did. He had nothing to do with the play calling. He had nothing to do with the overall direction of the team. It's all Ben Johnson. And that's just how casual fans view us. And I think what would make this even better is if they win it without him. If they win a championship without him, and mainly winning this championship without him would help one person more than anyone else improve their reputation and may actually put them on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And that's Jared Goff. No one in the league would gain more from a Super Bowl than Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been uber consistent since 2022. He's first in passing yards. He's first in passing TDs. He's top five in win percentage. So when a guy is consistent, and every time you end the season, he's top three in passing yards. Every time you end the season, his team is in playoff contention or in the playoffs, and he never has a top 15 defense, and somehow he's not top 10. Not top 10 is not top 10 to me is crazy because you're putting like we're gonna put Mr. Potential over him, and Justin Herbert. You're gonna put Jordan Love because his passes are pretty, not because he's more productive, not because he's making the right reads. His passes are pretty, and if you want to say, oh, Jared Goff's not mobile, he's top three in total yards. So even if you want to put the rushing in, over since 2022, the only two people that got more yards than him total is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. So at that point, if you're consistently in the conversation with certain people and you're winning games, and the only thing somebody can say is, "Oh, you lost a playoff game in the divisional round where you played bad." That's cool. One bad game. The playoffs before that, he might have been the second best quarterback in that playoffs. His surrounding cast did not help him in the NFC Championship game. So for me, we need to he would be vindicated in a way people don't understand because he's had to prove himself twice already, and they're already doubting him for the third time. How am I made by Sean McVay, and I'm made by Ben Johnson? If he does it a third time, is indisputable that he's a good quarterback, and it's going to actually put him in that Hall of Fame trajectory is going to be right there, because essentially he's going to have Super Bowls. He's going to have a Super Bowl appearance. His overall win percentage is going to be good, and if he stays on track with what he's been doing in 5 to 7 years, he can crack the top five in passing yards all time. If you're averaging 4,500 yards a year and 30 touchdowns, and you continue, if he continues this after the great Ben Johnson is gone, his resume is going to be indisputable. But to make it that way, he has to add Super Bowl wins, not just playoff wins. Nobody cares that you made it to the NFC Championship. Nobody cares that you made it to the Super Bowl. You got to win that game. But if he does, it's going to completely change how people view him. It's going to be impossible to keep him out of the top 7 to 8 quarterbacks in the league because he's always had the production. They're just ignoring it because it's not pretty. And that's enough about Jared Goff. As far as the team is concerned, everybody else is pretty much accurately rated, in my opinion. Amon-Ra gets a ton of respect. Kirby Joseph gets a ton of respect. The rest of the talent on the team pretty much gets the respect that they deserve. Outside of that, though, there are two people that I feel don't get the respect they deserve in the Detroit Lions organization, and that is Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. They've effectively created a team identity. People understand what a lion is supposed to look like. They understand that, it's time to get aggressive. We're going to hit. We're going to go all out every play. They found a way to take the division away from the Packers, and essentially they haven't given it back since. So what he's done is essentially resurrected probably one of the worst franchises in NFL history. And if he can pull off a Super Bowl, and that's what it's going to take. I don't want anybody to misconstrue what we need. A couple playoff, you can't lose for 30 some odd years, get 1 or 2 playoff games and act like, oh, we're good. Oh, we're just a playoff team now. I did not want to go from being the Lions to being the Vikings, where it's like, oh, we get close and don't win anything. That's not the plan. But essentially, if Dan wants to cement himself as a great head coach, he has to show that he can win after losing coordinators. I think the offense is going to, me personally, I think the offense is going to be fine, but he has to show that he can help steer a defense into something that looks like something. This defense is coming off of injuries. There's a lot of unknowns, but if he can find a way to gel the team together, it's going to put him in a different light once he wins this championship. Because I've seen uh like the PFF where it's like, oh, he's number 9 and people are upset with that, and I'm just like, you shouldn't be. He's he's won 2 playoff games in his whole career as a, like winning 2 playoff games is not really top 5 worthy as a head coach. That's not worth anything. So if he wants to break into that top 7, top 8, he has to win a Super Bowl. This is not hand grenades. You know what I'm saying? This is not Herschel and hand grenades. Close don't mean nothing. He could have went, but that don't even mean that we was gonna beat the Chiefs if we did go. But for me, because Ben Johnson has essentially hogged all the credit, all of the admiration and recognition for the most part, uh, Dan has to show that he can win without him. But as soon as he wins that first Super Bowl, as soon as he wins the first Super Bowl, is going to cement the Lions as real contenders. 27-7 was not good enough because we're the Lions. People have been conditioned over decades to not believe in us. So the only way to break that curse is to actually win a championship. As long as we lose the last game, they are going to reference the history and years of losing. So it's Super Bowl or nothing. Thank you for watching. And whether it's game day, draft day, or any day in between, it's Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one.